Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Anti-Woke Warrior. He did a video on Tim Pool. Tim Pool doesn't understand modern women's dating strategy. It's funny because Tim Pool is like, oh yeah, women are worth the $200 dates. You're a simp if you don't pay the $200. And I disagree. And I think Anti-Woke Warrior disagrees too. So let's please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
You can be short and you can be a millionaire and have the most beautiful woman in the world. And I'm not. And I take issue with the people who are like, women are shallow and vapid and gold diggers. I'm like, no.
Dude, no one said you couldn't be a short, ugly millionaire and still have a beautiful woman. I don't think anybody's ever said that. There's plenty of short, ugly men with women surrounding them. It's called money.
Those exist. But it is unfair to criticize a woman because she prioritizes status, means, and wealth. That is humanity. Women looking for strong men and men looking for beautiful women.
So what is going on here? Well, this is a video by Tim Pool where he agrees with a woman who says that a man has to pay for her affections, her attention. And Tim Pool is wrong. I wasn't going to say anything about this video, but I kept thinking about it. And so I thought, I'm just going to have to make a video about it and post it on YouTube so everybody knows the correct way of thinking about this situation, because Tim is very much wrong about this woman. I don't know how he could be this wrong, this oblivious to the situation. Maybe
he's a one percenter. That's the thing about it. Like, one percenters are obviously going to think differently than how normal average people operate. Tim Pool has millions of subscribers. $200 is nothing to him. It's pennies. Compared to a normal guy with a $60,000 job, $200 is significant. So that's a major difference right there. And I think it's funny when high profile, high status people talk about this and generalize it, but they generalize it from their view, right? I'm a normal fucking average guy, like maybe slightly above average. I live very similar lives to most men out here. Like, it's a struggle out there. Women spending $200 on a woman, it's crazy.
maybe he's never really had any issues dating.
I agree.
That's the case, that he's always just been like, yeah, whatever.
There's no way he never had any issues. I would assume he had some issues when he was younger.
I can date women. I can pull women, especially now that he has money. I'm sure it's really easy for him. Now, before we get into this, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed, because YouTube does unsubscribe people every single day. That's
true. Make sure you guys are subscribed to me too. YouTube's been playing around lately. They like turned a lot of my videos into like not ad-friendly videos, so I don't even know if I want to release them now. They said after they reviewed it, they said it was hateful speech. So
you can find me over on Rumble and on Twitter. Stick around for the palate cleanser at the end of the video. That'll be fun. Now let's dive into this.
This video is getting a lot of attention after people have debated whether or not this woman is correct when she says if she's going to go with a guy, he's got to spend at least $200 minimum. Tristan Tate was tweeting about it, and he said she's right, and people are giving him flack for this. And he's like,
again, these guys are millionaires. $200 to them is nothing. So I can somewhat agree from their perspective, but from a normal man's perspective, an average man's perspective, $200 for a woman that you don't even know you're gonna even go anywhere or do anything with is a lot of investment.
No.
And on Tim Pool and all of them always tell you got to save money, you got to invest properly. How is this investing properly?
Away. And I've seen a bunch of other guys actually point out she is correct. And I will say it right now, dude. If you think it is simping because because this woman says she wants a minimum of $200 spent on a date.
Well, let's
how
find
is
out
not
if it is
simping?
We got simping, meaning here's what it means and how to use it. I'll go down here. Okay, here we go. In the realm of internet slang, definitions.net defines simping as a behavior where a person, usually male, is excessively deferential, engages in constant flattery, or does way too much for a person they like. Okay, there you go. Does way too much for...
That's it. Way too much for someone you like. You can do it for your wife. Like, if you are constantly doting on your wife and doing all these extra things for your wife, and your wife doesn't reciprocate a lot of these things, that's simping. You can simp for your wife too. I'm not saying it's fully a bad thing, but you can definitely do it.
Person they like. First dates are not $200 dates. If you're spending $200 on a first date, yeah, you're simping. First dates are coffee dates. Maybe you get a drink in a bar or a club, something like that. Maybe,
I wouldn't suggest a club.
Maybe if you're feeling ambitious, You do a lunch. But you don't want to invest a lot of time in a person if you don't know if they're going to be right for you. Why would you spend 4 hours and $200 on a first date?
This
That's
is
ridiculous. So by definition, it is simping.
Sorry. I mean, like, I feel like, I guess the argument is, it is an incel perspective to agree with this woman when it's actually the other way around. I don't like using that word. It's a stupid word. But the general idea is like, you're a weak man if you're going to give this woman $200 or whatever. Actually, the other way around. Actually, the other way around.
I don't see you as a strong man giving this woman $200. How is that a strong man? You're giving money away for affection or for time and attention. That's not how you get women.
And I'll explain.
Now, of course, we know that a one percenter, $200 is nothing to a one percenter. But what is this woman offering? What is she selling? She is offering her body. That is what is on display here. Her body, her looks. She has an attitude too. You're gonna see when they played the video that she has an attitude. And it's like, excuse me, you're not all that. And she's not really. I mean, look at her. She's nothing spectacular. She's not ugly, but
And it's funny because her attitude, it's the attitude of being entitled that you deserve at least $200 on a date. How can anybody agree with that? I don't see how even Tristan and all of these high-end men agree that her standards is at least $200 and it's okay.
she's not a 10 by any stretch. This does not make for good long-term partner material. What she's offering is basically Lady of the Night product here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The guys that are telling her she's wrong, I feel like are taking this progressive worldview of like, we have to be equals and we don't got to spend money and all that. And it's like,
No, motherfucker. Like, okay, now I'm starting to get like a little upset. Like the progressive worldview, it doesn't even matter. Even if I paid all the bills and I'm willing to pay all the bills, why does she deserve $200 meal off the bat? I hardly ever give myself a $200 meal. Like, I hardly ever give myself, let's say, $100 meal because half of that would be me, right? I don't go on $100 meals all the time. So so just seeing her, I have to upgrade my lifestyle and upgrade her lifestyle just because she's willing to date me. The thought process is kind of stupid to me.
like, wait, hold on. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, progressives. Let's just, I'm hoping I can piss literally everybody off with this one.
Well, that is not the progressive worldview.
Nope.
So I don't know what to tell you. That is the older worldview where, you don't buy somebody. You don't pay for somebody. And he's going to go into a whole thing here. So we got plenty of things to say here.
I like traditional gender roles to a certain degree. You know what I mean?
Oh, to a certain degree. So you're like the modern people.
And so I think this woman is correct. Let me play the video for you so you can hear what she says, and then we'll have this discussion because it's like I'm just seeing it pop up all over the place, and it's important to break this down. Here you go.
What's the most a man should spend on a first date?
I feel like if I'm gonna get ready and I'm gonna use all my products to come out with you, I need like a minimum of $200.
See, like it's the thought process. Oh, I have to use all my products, so it's a minimum of $200. Okay.
Minimum, and that's like being nice.
And what does a man get in return for that?
My presence?
What, aren't you having his presence within you already?
I hear you, but no. No. I mean, like, I'm
How
here
is
to
it
get
different?
to know you. I'm here to get to know you. You invited me out.
But he has to drop $200.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
Minimum.
Yeah. Because you
Just
invited
because
me out.
you have to do your
I'm blown away at how like agreeable Tim is about this. This is crazy to me.
Because I have to. Okay, so we're gonna do the math. My moisturizer is $400. My eye cream is $300. My serum is like another $300. My makeup, not included. So if I have to spend, that's my money. I'm spending my money on.
And there's the other part is, do you not use these things on a normal basis, not going on dates? So why do I have to pay for it, particularly when I go on a date with you? I have to pay for those particular things?
These products.
She's
I'm gonna
right.
use these products.
What are you using them for, though?
For myself.
Okay.
But I'm gonna use these products and I'm gonna show up because it's not like I'm gonna show up in sweats.
The man doesn't owe you anything if you're just getting to know each other.
If you're inviting me out, you owe me a date.
Okay, so first off, she is commodifying
Pretty
the
much.
interaction.
Yep.
She's making this about money.
Yep.
Right there, you lost. This is not long-term partner material. And she's also being either disingenuous or she's incredibly, incredibly stupid. My wife does a whole skin routine every day, her whole body, every single day. She does not spend $400 on moisturizer, $300 on eye cream. She doesn't even buy eye
Exactly.
cream. People accuse her. People think that she is 15 to 20 years younger than she is because of her skin routine.
Shout outs to your wife, brother.
And it's nowhere near $700 a month or $700 even every 6 months. I don't know how long her moisturizer lasts. but she's either spending way too much money or she's lying about how much stuff costs. Let's see what Tim has to say about it.
So this is really, really funny. She's totally correct. The first thing I'm going to say, it's all about the kind of person you're interested in being with. I mean, there might be some guys who are just like, I'm not all about that. And so then, okay, but that's always allowed.
No, it's not about the person you're interested in being with.
No.
It's about establishing a long-term commitment. If this woman is looking for a long-term situation, she's going about it the wrong way. She's expecting a man to buy her. And now people always say, oh, you always pay for it no matter, you pay for it one way or another. No. The traditional relationship setup was the man works to provide the financial resources that the family needs to survive. The woman works to care for the family. It was an exchange in that regard.
Yep.
Part of
I
that
agree.
caring for the family is making sure that the man's bedroom needs are met. Now, this, of course, was less so the case the farther you go back in time because of the lack of birth control, right? If you didn't want to have a bunch of kids, then you couldn't have sex whenever you wanted to. You had to kind of pull back sometimes and be like, well, you can't do it now because of XYZ. We can't do it on this day because of this. We can't do it, because we don't want to get...
I didn't even think about that back in the day when there wasn't birth control. Like, I never even thought about like, oh, we can't have sex today because we might get pregnant. Because my ex-wife has always been on birth control, so it was never an issue or never even a thought process in my head.
get pregnant, basically, is why. Because we already got like 5 kids and we can't afford to have a 6th. Or we already got 10 kids in cases. We can't afford to have an 11th. But
I mean, that's why my dad has like 14 siblings. They didn't have birth control. They just kept doing it.
once we got easy access to reliable birth control, things started to change.
People have pointed out it's not good or bad, it's neutral. No. Or they said she's not right or wrong. It's like a neutral thing where some people like it, some people don't. No, she is right. She is right. Let me
No.
explain. If you want to go on a date with a woman, let's take a conservative perspective on this one. Women don't work. No, I'm talking like 100 years ago. A man wants to take a woman out to a nice dinner at a local diner or restaurant or something like this. 100 years ago, tradition.
It wasn't extravagant to where it's $200. $200 is like almost like half to 1/3 of most people's weekly salary. Especially at least in California. It might even be half of some people's weekly salary. That's crazy to just go on one fucking date. How is that equating to you, Tim? You must be too well off and have been too well off for too long of a period of time to not realize that's crazy amount of money.
Gender roles. The woman is going to put in effort to be beautiful, to be attractive, to be worthy of this man's hard work.
And also nice and compelling and cooperative. You're missing that part.
So what do women do? Dude, you ever watch how women would dress back in the day when everybody wore like suits? It's crazy. It took like an hour to get dressed, multiple layers. It's super crazy. It really is. So this is part of traditional gender roles. And I'm not saying you need to maintain them or like all the...
All right, well, let's take a look then. Let's see if Tim's right. So I just binged up photos from the 1800s. And I probably should have done 1900, but you can see right here, does she look exceptionally attractive? Does she
Nope.
look like she's done a lot? She has a lot of product. Oh,
Nope.
wait, yeah, that's right. Most of those products didn't really exist. You can look
Correct.
through these images here. None of these women look like they're wearing their Sunday best face. They look like
They
they have...
look normal. Especially of that time. You know, they didn't look like, Instagram type models or were going for that Instagram type model look like most women are nowadays.
a natural face.
Yep.
They are dressed very conservatively because that was the style at the time. It was expected for you to be modest and proper. Let's do 1900. Why not? Let me see. What did I search here? I searched, let's see. 1800. Let's go 1900 photos. Here's some women, but I'm not seeing, let's see, 1900 photos. Let's go portraits. Let's just add portraits on the end here. Portraits. Okay, well, these women look nicer, but still, they don't look like they're wearing a ton of product. They look like they're wearing maybe mostly lipstick. They're probably
Definitely
wearing some
hair
sort of
was
powder
definitely a
base.
thing back then.
It was probably accessible at the time. You're also talking about 30 years of advancement and the introduction of electricity. It's changed a lot of things. These things become more readily available. Women are going to try to compete with each other to get the best man, and they're going to do that through cosmetics, which is what we see today often, which is the cosmetic companies are worth so much money now. It's insane. So yes, women did use these products then, but also women didn't have any sort of job security then, and their jobs paid less, and there were only certain jobs that they could take. Now women are allowed to do every single job that there is. There's women billionaires today. Women billionaires. And they're all complaining about, look, I spent some money on my makeup. You have to take me on spending at least $200.
I agree.
Don't you know? My makeup costs money. In the same breath, she
This
claims
fucking
she
girl
wears makeup
voice
for
is
herself.
hilarious.
You wanted equality. Now you have your job and you can go out and do it yourself. You want your bag. This is equality. This is what happens when you have equality. And Tim would say, well, that's your progressive argument. There you go. You're making a progressive argument, anti-woke warrior? No, that is one argument. Tim has a valid point. I mean, I'm not saying that Tim is totally off the rails here, but he is wrong. He has a point, but the thing is, I have a lot more points that support my point of view on this. These women say, I put in time for my makeup. I put in money for my... Do you think that men don't put in time and money for things?
Exactly.
All you...
Exactly. Do you think it was free to get this fucking nice car? Do you think it's free to have the insurance for this nice car? Do you think it's free to have this house? Do you think it's free to keep this looking the way the shit looks? You know, like I gotta go to the gym. I gotta fucking wash my face, get my hair cut. You know, I do my eyebrows. Like every time I get my hair cut, I get my eyebrows done too, because I have bushy ass eyebrows, and I shave every day. Like do men's process and looking good not even available? Like not even worth mentioning? It's only women that have to do these processes.
Have to do to succeed as a woman in this world is be thin and young, and you could be a millionaire overnight, figuratively and literally. Figuratively in the sense that you are married to a millionaire, literally in the sense that you divorce him and take half his stuff. That's it.
Oh, and literally as in you can just fucking do OnlyFans and be a millionaire too. Don't forget that.
So all you gotta do is be thin. What does being thin require? Oh, jeez, let me see, how much work does that require? Don't eat so much. Just eat less than you would like to eat. In most cases, some women are just, they can eat what they want to eat and they're fine. So being thin is what is required. Pretty much, that's it. And you'll be able to attract a man. Let's get back to what Tim has to say here.
Feminists are going to get mad now. Like, literally, this woman spends a lot on a big wardrobe. Guys, jeans and t-shirts. Don't get me wrong. Like, Tristan Tate made a video about this. Like, I got a nice tailored suit, and, it's like, and I look good, exercise, but it takes me like 4 minutes to get ready.
I had a woman adamantly explain to me that women's clothing is less expensive than men's clothing.
Correct.
And she was telling me that the dress she was wearing cost $5.
It is so much cheaper because we don't buy as much clothes. And because we don't buy as much clothes, they up the price on our shit. And women buy enough clothes to where like their shit's like $2-3. Like, okay, my shirts are not that expensive. Mine are like $12. I get them from Uniqlo. Shout outs to Uniqlo, Asian brand, Japanese brand. Just happens to fit my body properly. But yeah, I mean, I go to outlets for my jeans, like $35 jeans. Nothing fancy. Like, but women's jeans are like $12. I've seen women's jeans for like $12, and that blows my fucking mind. How is that even possible? And I see all their dresses. I've been to Forever 21 with my ex-wife before. That shit's cheap. I don't think I could find any clothes that cheap that looks good on men. Like most of my clothes that look good are from Express, which is a little bit more expensive. Like more tailored type suits and stuff like that. I have like a Hugo Boss suit, and like those are like a Hugo Boss suit is motherfucking expensive. That's like $1,000 for a nice suit. I don't think women are spending that kind to look that good. And for men to look good, usually have to suit up majority of the time. I think personally, I just think men in suits just look so much better than most other outfits. So
Dollars. This was, I don't know, 20 years ago. Men's clothing is so expensive. Men's clothing is so expensive compared to what I spend. I don't spend anything on clothes. Oh, okay. So she's spending $5 on a dress, and I spent $50 on my jeans and, $10 on the t-shirt I was wearing. So that there obviously is a lot more. So who's right here? Is it the girl here saying, oh, I spend so much money on my outfit? You don't spend anything on your clothes. And that looks like it's a valuable dress, expensive dress. I can't even tell if it's a dress or a skirt and a weird top. She's showing way too much flesh.
It's
She's advertising
one
one
piece,
thing
I
again.
believe.
She's advertising her body.
Mm-hmm.
So what she's doing, she's breaking this down to a lady of the night transaction. Really good for long-term situations. Mm-hmm.
Let's approach this from a modern perspective. Women do a lot to get ready to go out. They spend a lot more time than guys do. There's
Bull crap.
Mm-hmm.
I spend, 8 hours in the gym every week? It's more than an hour a day of preparation.
Damn, dude, 8 hours in a gym every week. That's a lot of fucking hours. I only do about 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours. I do an hour session. I try to do it like at least 5 days a week. This motherfucker's pumping in some iron.
Now, obviously, I'm married, so that's not for women, but What was it when I was trying to date? I spend how many hours a week at work? 50 hours working so that I can attract a girl?
Yep.
Huh. I also take showers, brush my teeth, comb my hair, all that stuff, shave, do all those things, get my hair cut, wear contact lenses instead of glasses. Glasses are a lot easier.
And haircuts are different for men and women too. My haircuts now are like 30, $35, which blows my mind because it used to be only $15 for like the longest, like $10, $15. Now it's 30, $35. And I have to get that every 2 weeks if I still want to look maintained. Right? So that's $70 every 2 weeks. So it's what? So $70 a month just on my hair. I don't think women do their hair as often as men. Yes, it's more expensive for them to do it the one time, but we have to do it more often to keep us maintained, especially if we have shorter hair.
To put on. A lot faster. Even though it doesn't take long to put on contact lenses, I mean, it's way faster to put on glasses. It takes me like a second to put on glasses. So he's wrong there. Totally wrong. Men spend so much time and effort. Today we have to.
Yeah, we have to do it leading up to the date. I think that's what you call it is trying to say. Woke or anti-woke warrior is trying to say. And the women do it only like right before the date. We have to do everything leading up to everything to be even noticed. And then we can kind of finally go on a date. And all that process and all that work, that charm, that effort doesn't get noticed or doesn't even get acknowledged by women at all. It's only them because they have to put on makeup. Really?
You have to. It's such a competitive market for these women. If you're like me, where I'm short, I have to make up for that limitation. That's the number one thing that women look for is he tall?
I'm not that tall. I'm 5'7" on a good day, maybe 5'6" if I'm like feeling slouchy. So like I'm not tall at all. And yeah, I have to make it up other ways by, working out. I do look a little bit buffer than most people my height and Asian wise. So I do have that going for me, but like height wise, I have nothing. Looks, my face is pretty symmetrical overall,
Taller than me. Yes, I've dated women who are taller than me, so not every woman is so demanding on that.
It's true. I have my first girlfriend was, second girlfriend was taller than me. So she was like 5'11" or something, and I was 5'7". So she was way taller than me, and she liked wearing heels. So
that front, but I mean, if I was even shorter than I am now, do you think the women that I went out with who were taller than me would have been interested in me at all? Probably not.
Nope.
Because that interest drops off the shorter you get as a man.
Effort involved in that. And if you want to live in the world where men and women split the bill, by all means, that's your thing. You're allowed to do it. For what she's explaining, she's talking about a man trying to court her, and she's saying he should spend at least $200. She didn't say outright she's spending nothing either. He didn't,
oh, shut the fuck up, Tim. She ain't gonna spend shit. Now that's just that's bullshit. And you're pulling BS out of your ass, Tim. No way she's ever gonna spend anything on a first date. What the fuck?
I do think she says like he's got to spend that or whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. My point is this: $200 on a night out with a person. Let's say you go to the movies. Let's say you're gonna do dinner and a movie, and then afterwards something nice.
She said $200 on the first date, right? Or is it on dinner?
Let's say it's like a 3-pronged date. The first thing you do is you have dinner. Let's say it's around 5 or 6. Then you go see a movie from 7 to 9, and then at 9 you're gonna go down to the pier and ride the Ferris.
You definitely know he doesn't go out that often. No one is going to dinner, movies, and then the pier or something afterwards on a first date. No one is planning out that whole night like that. You don't know this person. You might not even get along with this person. Why would you plan out such an extravagant and such a intricate date like that? That doesn't even make sense. Unless, through conversation wise, throughout the week or something, you guys really connected and you're like, man, you know what? I really like this chick already. Then yes, I can kind of see that. But most people aren't going to do that.
Wheel and you wrap it up by 10 or
Spending entirely too much time with this person on a first date.
Yep.
First date is coffee.
Yep.
If you want to go fancy, go get a drink at a bar somewhere, and a high-end bar or something.
I don't fully agree with Woke Warrior on just the coffee date thing. I enjoy lunches and dinners, just me personally, because I'm a foodie. But I don't disagree with it either. I do think most men should probably go for more the minimal dates, and because you might not be able to vet them properly throughout the conversation, texting and messaging wise. I'm not saying I do a great job. I do somewhat of an okay job doing it, so I'm willing to put in money for a dinner kind of thing.
Don't go to like your local dive unless that's what the person you're dating is into.
$200 easy. Inflation, baby. So my question is for the people who are saying she's
So he has a valid
And it's not $200 easy. You're talking about movies. Movies for two people is probably gonna be like $30 to $32. Dinner for two people should be about $50 to $60. So really, it's like $90 to $100 for a first date, if you're going by the numbers you're going at, and then the Ferris wheel thing afterwards or whatever. But I'm gonna cancel that out. So I think $90 to $100 is somewhat reasonable, but to demand that it has to be at least $200, that's not correct, in my opinion.
point there that, yeah, a $200 date is really not that much money today. I just came back from the grocery store, $80, and I didn't really buy that much stuff. It's like, what the heck? Some of
Yes, inflation has gone up, but still $200 is still a significant chunk of change for, I want to say, like 70% of people out there.
those things are bigger ticket items. I bought some sinus stuff because man, this year the pound count is so high. I'm just like freaking dying here. So that was $30 right there. So $50 on groceries, but I didn't really buy that much stuff. Some bananas and some other fruit, a couple slabs of meat. It's like, wow, it should have been $25 at the most. So, but yeah, the $200 thing, that's definitely not that. I mean, that's not an extravagant date.
should women pay for dinner? Look,
Even you don't think it's extravagant, woke warrior? Anti-woke warrior? I think it's pretty extravagant. I live in LA. And let's say I take someone to the ranch. The ranch is like somewhat of a Michelin, like almost a Michelin star restaurant. Pretty high end. There's a saloon next door. And for me and my best friend to go eat there, it's like $150. $150, and we do a porterhouse to share with some sides, and then we get a creme brulee and stuff like that. So it's still not $200. That's what I'm trying to say, like, and that's with drinks and stuff. So, and that's with like a 60-day age fucking porterhouse. That's $150. So where the fuck is $200 coming from for like a dinner date? That's crazy.
I think if you're dating a feminist and that's the world you live in, you can split the bill. That's fine. I think if you're dating a person who's adamant about taking care of themselves, by all means, that's
You don't know if they're a feminist or not. Just because they're adamant about taking care of themselves and you paying for them doesn't make them not a feminist. What the fuck?
all you. But if we're talking about traditional gender roles, and I don't mean abject and absolute, I mean like just like the modern dating era. If you want a woman like her who's going to buy a nice dress, who's going to get face cream and moisturizer and her hair done, it is so much more money than the guy is spending. No, for real.
My cologne itself is $150, bro. Yes, it lasts probably like a year and a half, maybe 2 years, because I buy the big one. But it's still expensive as fuck. My deodorant is actually more expensive. My deodorant is my deodorant is like $40. I use the Chanel deodorant because it matches with my cologne. So, I'm not saying all men are spending that kind of money on, smelling and looking good, but men do. And don't discount men's efforts, time, and money that they spend on themselves, taking care of themselves.
Outfit she's wearing is probably more expensive than it needs to be, but women have a bigger wardrobe. Why?
One word, Lamborghini. We all know that men have to drive a certain type of vehicle to attract a lot of, like this girl. Do you think this girl is going to go out with a guy like me who drives a Dodge Dart, a Chevy Cruze, an old Chevy Cruze too? Really? You think that she's going to be, oh yeah, I'll definitely, you're the one I'm interested in. You're the person I want to be with. No, he's going to have to drive a Mercedes, Lamborghini, BMW, Lexus, something.
See, I drive an Acura, and it's like it's supposedly like the same level as an Lexus, but in people's eyes, it's not. I just bought it because it's a Honda. My family's always had Acuras, and I just like Hondas. We've always loved Hondas, so that an Acura is just a luxury model of a Honda. So a car is gonna last a long time. That it's a little bit more comfortable than a regular Honda.
That is going to show his status, because that's what she is asking for: high status, high value man.
Yeah. Before that, I drove a Honda Fit, a red Honda Fit. Why? Because it was very roomy. We had the leather package for it. And it was really fuel efficient. Like, it only fit like 9 gallons in the tank, but with the 9 gallons, you can go like almost 400 miles on that shit.
To be attractive, to be better, right? So men build up their skills. They go and work. Women try to be attractive and beautiful and all that stuff. Feminists can argue they don't like it. But this is what the really interesting thing is to me about this. That there's like a lot of people on the right who are like, you're a simp. I said the woman is correct. And I got responses, you're a simp. I'm a simp. Because I think women who try to, I think this woman is correct. And she says she should try to be attractive for her man. And her man should provide for her. That's simping? Yo, that's like conservatism.
No, you're a fucking idiot, Tim. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the minimum of $200 that you have to spend on this person just to take them out and just to be in their presence. That's the simping part. No, providing for a woman that, or whatever it is, isn't. But a woman that demands these things, yeah, you're simping, because these things aren't required, but you're gonna go out of your way to go out there and do these things. Yeah, there's a lot more Chow to that one. I didn't go through it all. I want you guys to go to his channel and watch it. Shout outs to Anti-Woke Warrior. I agree with most of how he interprets this video and how his thought process is on relationships. Very similar. A little bit of nuances is here and there, but I like his take. I do not like Tim's take. I think Tim's an idiot. Like it. My mistake. Tim is a very bright man. He's an idiot when it comes to this and women nature. I think this is where I think he is influenced by his wealth and the people around him. So these little nuances that regular men have to deal with goes over his head. Please like, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.